This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Let's get to what is a good booking. Let's go ahead and skip ahead to your match. It'll be yourself and Bobby Eaton taking on the Steiner brothers. We're going to skip there now. I'm at 1 hour, 31 minutes, 25, 26, 27. And we're about to have a barn burner of a match. And you and Bobby are the tag champs. And the Steiners are about as over gets. And man, let me just say, as we see Gary Michael Capetta, I miss that guy's voice in wrestling. I hope you guys bring him to an AEW show and give Justin Roberts the night off and just let him introduce some guys one last time. That'd be awesome.
Or he could stand out there with Justin. Justin's a good announcer. I like Justin.
Oh, no. I'm glad that Justin's the guy.
And let me tell you, Gary Capetta was a class act.
I believe it.
Backstage, he was a class act. He was 100% gentleman.
I just think it's cool that Tony is embracing sort of the history of wrestling as much as he has, and the idea that we might have a chance to hear Gary Michael Capetta one last time is super fucking fun to me.
I bet you, if you mention it, it'll happen.
I'll send a text. We'll see what happens. But look at this duo. A couple of new tag team titles. Paul E. Dangerously in tow.
Look how slim Paul E. is.
Slim him. Look at
Svelte.
Slim and tan you. Look at Bobby Eaton.
I want you to know that during this period, Bobby Eaton was actually going to the gym and lifting weights and on a regular basis. Very proud of Bobby during this time. And man, you talk about a quality man. I don't know that there's a better human being on the planet than that man right there, Bobby Eaton.
How often do you catch up with Bobby these days?
Not enough, and I'm ashamed of that fact. I've seen him at a couple of like WrestleCade and stuff like that, where I got to spend a few minutes with him, but not as much as I should. I wished I could, for 12 years or something, we lived one street apart in Charlotte.
Right.
Best friends. Love Bobby Eaton.
Is that the same house when he was one street over from you that I've been to?
No,
different house.
I was there 12 years, and since then I sold that house and built the one that you came to, and I've been there since '97. Which it was on the edge of town, and as you know now, it's sitting in the middle of a little city.
Yeah, absolutely. So here you see they've made the decision that Heyman has been barred from ringside, and you guys are flipping out.
Well, what kind of bullshit decision was that?
I don't think some of our younger fans who maybe just saw, the end of WCW, or maybe they saw their work in the WWE, or maybe the, TNA, whatever. How fucking over were the Steiner brothers in 1992?
God. Look at them.
Look at the crowd. The crowd is so into this, by the way.
Listen, and it wasn't just beach muscles. I walked in the gym one day, and Rick Steiner was sitting there with 365 on the bench. So now I'm thinking, okay, damn, he's going to bang out some reps with this bench pressing. No. He turned around, went up under it, and did behind the neck presses seated for about 6 or 8 reps with 365.
That's crazy.
If anybody's ever been in a weight room that knows what I'm talking about right now, you'll go, holy shit. And if you'd have told me, I might not have believed it. I saw it.
365 is a lot of weight.
Yeah, to be seated with the bar resting behind your head on your neck and then banging out 6 or 8 or whatever it was reps, it's ridiculous.
So we're smack dab here in the middle of the Dangerous Alliance. You see Paul E. is out, Medusa is in. She'll be cornering for him here. And one of the things that I want us to try to break down here, Arn, is the little details that we'll see from everybody in the match, but in particular, you and Bobby, because you guys are regarded as being two of the greatest tag team wrestlers ever. This wasn't a tag team that lasted forever, but the little nuanced stuff that you and Bobby do is what a lot of wrestlers study today. So we'll get a little master's class here, and I'll be quiet and let you go.
Let's see if we can spot it.
The mullet is the biggest thing that's jumping off the page to me right now from Scott Steiner. That thing should be in a Hall of Fame somewhere. Referee Randy Anderson.
Friend of mine from Rome, Rome, Georgia, broke into business with me out in Louisiana as a driver for the Junkyard Dog, which morphed into, oh, that hurt. That was just mean.
In real life, who was a bigger badass, Scott or Rick?
Oh, I don't know, but if you ask Rick, he'll tell you him. Scott was his little brother. Now,
I think Scott has the reputation for being more volatile, but Rick, from everybody I've talked to, says he was the real badass of the group.
Strong, silent killer. Scotty was probably a loud, boisterous killer.
And what's crazy is, Scott Steiner, while certainly he was Big Papa Pump and the Big Booty Daddy and all that great stuff, but there was a different stretch here where a lot of people thought he was one of the most over wrestlers in the world, and part of that was because of his innovation, the Frankensteiner. I mean, it was the hottest move in wrestling.
Well, I mean, look at the guy here. I mean, he's got a good body, but it's not Big Papa Pump body.
Right.
But it's a great body. And the guy, being an amateur wrestler, he's not injured yet. He's not hurt yet. He's early during his career. He's fluid. He's athletic. I mean, he does some Brian Pillman-esque stuff at 255 pounds, which is pretty amazing.
As a rule of thumb, when a guy rolls out like that, and I think people in the business would call that taking a powder. When you do that, what's the rhyme or reason for the right time in a match to do that?
To break the pacing that's going on right then. Because if that continued on at the pace that it was, Steiner should have beat him.
Right.
You got to have some start and stop and heels when things, get out of hand. A heel will take the easy route out to the floor. And it just breaks the momentum. You got to reset the match. You kind of got to start over. And if you're at the first of a match where you're going to pull some time, you can't just go in wide open and go wide open for 20 minutes. It's not possible.
So you call in Rick Steiner. Rick's all fired up, running circles. And here we go. You guys did not talk about this. This is all improv?
All of it. Real simple. He starts doing the damn pit bull.
You respond.
I'm going to the house. I'm going over here and hide by Bobby till he calms down.
What a great spot. Backing yourself up, crotching yourself.
Yes.
Is that your flare flop for the match?
That was my humor spot without overdoing it. If you got it, you got it. If you didn't, you didn't. I enjoyed working with these guys. They never hurt me one time.
Boy, some of those enhancement talents have a different story.
Yeah. Now, not to say they didn't bounce us around, obviously, but that's what they did. That's who they were.
I love you retreating to the corner, selling the back, calling the timeout. By the way, in all white, looking like a tan, dapper Mr. Wrestling.
Who's that?
You.
Me?
You got the big white trunk?
You notice that white setting everything off.
You do look extra tan right here.
I am extra tan. Fat looks better brown, period. That's it. End of sentence. This is getting about to the point where I've about had enough of this shit. Just sitting here
It's been all offense from Rick Steiner. You can't get a word in edgewise here.
I was trying to talk Medusa in there to go in and stretching him, but she just was not quite ready to pull the trigger yet. She wasn't afraid. She wasn't scared. Talking about one tough lady right there.
Oh, yeah. Ahead of her time, too, man.
One of the oldest rules that guys don't fully comply with these days and what we're doing, if you go back and look at it like this, everything we're doing is just to make them better wrestlers than us.
Right.
It's a real simple story we're telling here. They're just better than us. So when we do something shitty, you know why, because it's all we had left. I think there may be a little bit of razzle-dazzle coming here.
Powering up.
Test of strength. Here comes Babaloo.
There's that razzle-dazzle you were talking about. So that's probably one of the few spots you guys work out ahead of time?
Yeah.
Well, how difficult is it to do I don't know what it's called, but what's that maneuver called when you hook the top rope and, go up and over?
Go out over the top. Basically over the top rope. Take a bump over the top rope.
How many times do you do that?
It's not easy.
No, it looks very difficult. It looks like you would fuck your hip up or catch your head on the bottom rope. I mean, there's a lot of different ways it could go wrong.
Well, what you got to make sure that you do is on your way down, you got to reach back and post off the apron so that you clear the apron. If you go over and land on your ass on the apron, that's a real easy way to knock your sack out.
Oh, we don't want that.
So you want to clear, and it's like tying your shoes. I know how to tie my shoes, but I can't tell you how to tie them.
Yeah.
Once you learn how to go over the top, it just becomes natural.
I love the psychology here. Let's throw him out. Let's bait Rick in. Now let's do a double team maneuver on the outside.
Still building baby faces.
How do you not love Bobby Eaton?
I do. It's one of those intangibles about Bobby. It's like you could watch him and appreciate him, but when you wrestled him specifically, he just always knew where to be, and he was always at the right spot. Don't ask me. It's just a natural thing that comes from reps and years and working with people that carry your jock. And
it's like an instinct, right?
It's instinctive.
I've heard that guys like that Ricky Morton and Barry Windham and Bobby Eaton, guys would describe them as just, it was all instinct. And the first time they got in there, it was like they'd been there for a long time. Man, tilt-a-whirl slam on the ramp.
A la Cactus Jack.
What a crazy move that was.
See, that's the stuff. He would do one of those on big matches, on big shows, and everybody in the back would just go, that damn Bobby Eaton is incredible. The boys at least respected him and appreciated him. I'm not sure if the audience fully well knew that, you look at that tilt-a-whirl, if you're an audience member, you're going, man, ain't that Scott Steiner great? Bobby's the one that got it over.
Bobby's the one who did all the work, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think that's true, and I think it's true, too, that, what hurt Bobby is he wasn't a babyface, for any considerable stretch. In the most memorable parts of his career, he was a bad guy, and he wasn't a strong promo. In fact, most of the time he didn't say anything at all. So it was hard to, if you're a fan at home, really feel like you're relating with him. But now as a real fan of wrestling and sort of all the nuanced stuff, you can go back and watch and you're like, holy shit, one of the all-time greats was under our nose the whole time. And you guys knew it, but we fans maybe did not.
Yep, you just have to watch it from a different perspective.
And as you see there, they're doing a version of the Road Warrior finish with the Doomsday device, except off the second rope. At this time, Hawk and Animal are in the WWF. Here we see, looks like we're setting up the big bulldog, but nope, he caught a knee instead. We should mention this got really, really great reviews, 3.25 stars. Meltzer would say that finish wouldn't have been so bad if they hadn't done it on so many house shows over the past 2 months. So it's the dreaded dusty finish is what they're going to call this one. But 4 better tag team wrestlers I don't think you could find than this pair.
Well, we just spent I don't know how many minutes trying to establish how good those guys are.
Right.
So now when you do finally get them down,
it means something.
You got somebody down that's pretty damn good, so you accomplished something. You have to make your opponent. You have to. It is imperative because you can't get over by yourself in a match. It takes two.
Talk to me about the context of building a tag team match like this for pay-per-view, especially in this era where, all right, we're going to get plenty of time. They're going to give us 20 minutes. Steiners are the baby faces. They're over like Rover. We got some heat on our manager. We're going to do the old switcheroo. Are there like different chapters or verses to building a match like this?
Well, when you've got a team that they absolutely believe in, they be in the audience, and they believe that any moment during this match, the Steiners could win. If they won with the Frankensteiner, nobody would doubt it if it was 5 minutes into the match. But what you end up having to do in a match like this, you've got heel champions, you've got the strongest babyface team possible that are challenging, and you have to set up all these different instances to where, okay, that's it. Oh, that's not it. Okay, oh, that's it. At any point you're in jeopardy of losing the titles is what keeps it interesting, because if this were not a title match, I don't think you would have quite as much interest because we're mismatched.
Right.
And to be honest with you, everybody was mismatched when you put them with the Steiners.
Clothesline there from Rick Steiner. Got you down on your back, and I think Rick's going to be looking to make a tag here. Almost over-rotated that one. That looked like that kind of got dangerous.
Actually, very, 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 very safe.
Talk to me about the way your old running mate Rick used to take those bumps, where everybody else is trying to land on their back. He lands on his side. Probably goes back to the plane crash and breaking his back.
That was his explanation.
It looks weird. It looks more painful. How does he not walk around with jacked up hips now? I guess we don't know that he doesn't. He just doesn't talk about it.
Well, yeah. I don't know that he isn't damaged, because they always took that. Now, there was a little bit of storytelling. If you just saw that, I just ran Scott Steiner's head into my own partner's head, which could have killed them both, but you sacrifice your partner to get back control of the match.
Yep.
That's something only heels would do, and only heels that are trying to save the titles would do, because if there was a titles that, at stake and you did that same thing, you might, if I'm the guy that got my head knocked off and knocked off to the floor, I might be going, hey, hold it. That might be a little drastic. But you're trying to save the championships, and that's the story.
Yeah, I think Jesse even referred to it as maybe it was JR, as an Anderson family tradition.
Yep, that's where we got it, from Gene and Ole sacrificing. Ole would sacrifice Gene. Maybe that's what we always said, that's why Gene had the twitch. Ole used him as a battering ram. Not just,
what the fuck? Did we just see a top rope knee drop? Unbelievable.
Yeah, and it was flawless.
That should have been a finish. I hate to be that guy, but good Lord, what a move that was.
Well, in a lot of cases it was when we had enhancement wins.
Sure. I don't think I've ever even seen anybody besides Bobby do that.
Too dangerous. It's as dangerous for the guy giving it as the guy taking it, because you got to land all your weight on that heavy knee, that outside knee.
What made your DDT look special compared to everybody else's?
I would step into it and try to snap it off and have them go straight down. Other than hooking it, waiting, and then going.
Yeah.
Try to make it all one motion.
The snap is the difference for sure.
I think so.
And then you show an ass a little bit after, like that's it. That was good stuff, added to the realism.
Well, yeah, heels always think that they're in control, and that
that's so great.
Just that pushing on the chest is absurd, isn't it? It's just little things.
I don't know that anybody has used this term, and I hope everybody gets what I mean, because I don't mean it any other way. Bobby is just a sweet man. He's just a nice guy. Like, you feel bad, like, saying anything negative in his presence. He's just, or at least I do.
It comes out of his pores.
Just a nice guy.
He can just walk in the room and you just can sense that he's a gentleman.
Animals love that guy. I've never seen him with a dog, but let me just tell you, they all love Bobby Eaton, If dogs and kids and wrestlers love you, you're probably all right.
You got to be a sweetheart.
Probably all right. And how about what we're setting up here? Going to set Scott Steiner on the ramp. You guys are going to set up your version of the rocket launcher.
Now, that's
you were more waving.
No give on the knees.
Right on his knees.
Good sell by Scotty. Now, at this point in the match, if you look at the crowd, they're not sure which way this is going to go.
Right.
They were pretty much into everything and booing everything and cheering everything. But right now, I can just tell by watching the crowd, there's a slim chance they think that the Steiners are in trouble. And with them, that's as good as it got. If you got the audience to believe, hey, wait a minute here, they might lose, because it was hard to do with those guys.
Slide Scotty back in.
And he's selling good for us,
So we've heard wrestlers talk about, and I don't think you'd have talked about it in great detail, but we get the question sometimes in our Q&A episodes, what does cutting the ring off mean?
Where you put yourself between the babyface and his partner.
Yeah.
You've always got your back to the partner so that you're facing the guy that's in trouble. And if you keep him on your half of the ring, he can't tag.
What's the rule of thumb when the hot tag is made like that? Is there one? I mean, I know it's...
Balls to the walls.
But I'm saying with like punches, is it always threes?
Nope, and it's not even always punches. It's everybody's comeback is different.
Oh, here we go.
Here's a little razzmatazz.
Oh,
Bobby don't look real comfortable right there.
Bobby up top, cross body, but look at that. Somehow
he ended
Rick
up
makes
on
the
top.
Cover. Look at the crowd. Crowd bought it. Crowd thought that was it.
And now they're going, what the hell did I just see?
Bulldog off the top. Bobby's still in there, though. Going to break that 3 count up. Scott's coming to put it into that. Looking for Medusa to give a little help here.
Oh, powder.
Right in the eyes of Rick Steiner. Oh, the baggies in the ring, too. Got to get rid of that somehow. Oh, the ref got a big belly to belly.
Is that Pee Wee Anderson?
That was. And you get thrown over the top rope. Double underhook suplex coming up, looks like, for Bobby Eaton.
So the top rope would have been the DQ, but we don't know that yet, correct?
Yeah, we don't know exactly what's going on at all. Our first referee, Randy Anderson, is out of here, but here's Mike Atkins. He's going to count the 3. The crowd goes bananas. And it looks like we've just seen a title change. The belts are coming in. The Steiners have the belts.
Oh, we got another ref to stooge this off. Had to be over the top was the disqualification.
Well, I think the disqualification is probably suplexing the goddamn referee.
I was baiting you and baiting you and baiting you, waiting for you to take the bait.
Well, listen.
If that's not a DQ, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I mean, throwing them over the top rope is illegal, but suplexing the referee is pretty illegal, too.
You know, and the other refs usually get their ass gets a little chapped when you start chunking them around. They show some unity on this deal.
Jim Ross told me the other day, can't believe this is real. Atkins was Jody Hamilton's son-in-law?
Nick Patrick. Yes.
Well, I knew Nick Patrick was, but he said that Mike Atkins was too.
The son-in-law. Yes.
Okay.
He was married to Nick's sister.
I got you. So, Jesus Christ, all these referees are somehow related to Jody.
Yeah, the refs got a click. You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Yes.
So how was Charles Robinson related to Jody Hamilton? They look nothing alike.
I think Charles must have slipped in on under the wire during the middle of the night.
Well, hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.